Hello, and thank you so much for joining the live stream. We are so excited to be talking about this month's Ms. Wheelchair America. It is happening again, and it's happening here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We've got a bunch of great ladies, contestants from across the nation who are coming to compete August 18th to August 24th for the title, the national title of Ms. Wheelchair America. And we are so excited to have two great contestants that are going to be competing this year, joining in the live stream to talk about their stories, why they're competing, and why they think that they should be wearing the crown for nationals. So we've got Alexandra Martinez. She is Ms. Wheelchair Ohio. And we got Autumn Green. She is Ms. Wheelchair Kansas. Ladies, thank you so much for joining today.
Hi, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having us.
Yeah, so we'll start with Alex. So, Alex, you are from Ohio. Just kind of tell me where in the state you're from and a little bit about yourself and your background.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, the suburb South Euclid. It's a really, really great place. I've been dancing since I was 5 years old. I grew up in the South Euclid, school system, and everyone's really nice. And I've grown up with many people with disabilities through organizations like Youth Challenge and Dancing Wheels. And Cleveland has a very rich disability community. So
Mm,
I'm really grateful to have been, here my entire life. It's a really great city.
awesome. And so I think especially for a lot of our able-bodied viewers that are watching this too, it's always good to kind of get some context a little bit about why you use a chair. Do you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, of course. I was born with a disability called spina bifida. So there was nerves in my back that were all, jumbled up, and my back was actually open when I was born. So
Oh.
the day after I was born, I think one day after, I had to have back surgery in order to correct that, and it resulted in me being paralyzed from the knees down.
But you still did not let that stop you in your dancing, saying that you started that at 5. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Hmm. Yep.
Awesome. So, Autumn, tell us a little bit about where you are from in Kansas, and just a little bit about yourself, and a little maybe too why you use a chair.
Yes, so I'm originally from Nortonville, Kansas, which is in Northeast. It's about an hour and a half from Kansas City. A very, very small town. My graduating class was 40 people, and actually, I was the first person in my school to be only physically disabled and not have an intellectual disability. So that was a whole ordeal trying to navigate that when I was younger, but we got through it, especially in the high school years. Um, and Kansas City has been really good. So I went there for my doctors, my rehab, and everything. And they kind of got me more involved with the disability community since obviously being in a small town, there wasn't really much of one. So I got involved very young. I went to a camp that was actually mainly for people with spina bifida, where I really got to meet people that were using wheelchairs. And I've never met someone my age that was in a wheelchair before that only was physically disabled.
Mm.
So it was a pretty great experience to be able to do that. And then the way that I got injured was I was in a car accident when I was 8 years old. And the reason why I was paralyzed was because I had a lap belt. It was an older
Mm.
vehicle. I was in the middle back seat. Unfortunately, the other driver, he fell asleep while trying to get home from college, and he ended up pronounced passed at the scene. And then my grandmother, who was in the vehicle driving ours, she also died. And then I was injured, and then my two cousins and my sister ended up being okay.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I know when we hear these stories from our contestants, they all come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and sometimes it's things they were born with, or it's injuries and illnesses like yours. So I appreciate you sharing that. And it's been you said 15 years now that you've been kind of navigating this, and so it's great. So for you to be open to share this. Turning to the competition. Alex, how did you hear about this, and what kind of sparked your interest in wanting to participate in Ms. Wheelchair America?
So when I competed for Miss Wheelchair Ohio, that's how I heard about the Miss Wheelchair America Foundation, and it really was something that I really wanted to pursue. And I think to you know start my advocacy in
Mhm.
a more powerful way, I think it's important to do competitions like this. So after I won Miss Wheelchair Ohio, I was like, this is fantastic, and I'm going to be so pumped for Miss Wheelchair America, and I'm just so excited for all of this. It's very exciting.
Awesome. And Autumn, this is actually not your first like competition like this in pageant, so to speak. Can you tell me a little bit about like your experience before?
Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned that because it was kind of a preparation for Miss Wheelchair Kansas. I wasn't of age yet because you have to be 21. And my aunt found out about Miss Wheelchair Kansas when I was 8, when I was going through rehab. And yeah, so I found out about Miss Amazing, which was what I participated in before, through a college friend who had autism. And it's similar to Miss Wheelchair America, but it's for all disabilities. And they also have a national level as well. And um that's how I got more involved with pageant like things, was through that, which I participated about a couple years ago.
Excellent. That is great. And so, um, oh, Alex, you kind of touched on it a little bit at the beginning too. You know, everybody has their own passions that can kind of follow them through into the competition, and it might be a part of their like advocacy. Tell me about more about your passion for dance, in you know how that might have you might be working with dance through your disability.
Yeah, definitely. I dance goes way back with me. I started when I was 5 years old with the Dancing Wheels School and Company, and I worked with them for years and years, and I just I love dance. It actually saved my life. I went through a very dark time during the pandemic. I had emergency surgery, and I was very depressed for a very long time. And the really only thing that kept me going was thinking of my next dance class, thinking of
Mm,
what choreography I could be doing, how I could, help other people dance. And that really formed into my platform, Dancing Through Disability, of talking about the therapeutic benefits of dance for everyone. So, dance can really connect you with your body and your emotions, and it's a very good way to release emotions. So if you're
mhm.
feeling angry, feeling excited, feeling happy, you could just like dance it out, and it helps immensely. So that's really what started my passion for dancing through disability and my advocacy for that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Are there other sports or programs that you participate in as well besides dance?
Yes, actually. With the organization Youth Challenge, I participated in powerlifting. I've
Oh,
done a
okay.
few competitions for that, and then also right now I'm part of their boccia team. So
Okay.
that's really exciting. That's something completely new for me, and I'm very happy about learning about boccia. It's so fun.
That's excellent. Autumn, what about you? So we talked a little bit about getting into like your advocacy journey, um, for Alex, but what about you? Did it start from your injury, or was there a time that you kind of this advocacy really became something more important for you?
Yeah, so since my injury, I feel like I've always kind of had to advocate for myself. I mean, I touched a little bit with like going to a small school and being the only one who is physically disabled and not having intellectual disability. But usually, especially in that small town, I mean, we had a community, so people were willing to work with me and my disability. It really started to sprout more when I went to KU, which is a public university. It's the University of Kansas. And when I went there, I had a few more challenges with getting the accommodations I need
Mm,
to be successful in my classes, whether it be like a desk that was lowered, and then doing STEM classes, certain like labs that weren't accessible. So that's really when my advocacy began.
mm,
And I actually created a student organization for disabled students. There was one before I was in college, but it ended up ending, unfortunately,
mm.
the year before I was a freshman. So I ended up founding a new one, and it's actually continuing.
That's
after I
awesome.
graduated. Yeah.
That's great, being able to have that impact that something lives on beyond you at your time at school. You also recently had an opportunity to participate in one of the ADA anniversary events. Can you tell me a little bit about that too?
Yes. So the Independent Living Resource Center in Wichita, they invited me to speak. And we also had the Wichita mayor, which is Lily Wu, and she signed a proclamation for the 35th anniversary of the ADA. And they invited me to speak a little bit about my platform and also like what the ADA means to me, how it's impacted me, and then what I can do further. So I had an interview later on as well and kind of really stress like how important the ADA is, but also how much work we have to do beyond the ADA.
Yeah, it's always a growing thing, and it's crazy to think that it's how short it's actually been that there's been this law here, and how much more work there needs to be done. Alex, have you had any like really proud moments of accomplishment in your advocacy work so far? It being just the title holder before you went here to nationals.
I don't know. That's such a tough question because I feel like my title as a whole is such a proud accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've done like so many speeches and so many like meeting with officials and all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like being out there in my community has just been the proudest I've ever been.
That's
So
great.
that's really as a whole, this title is just like I'm so proud to be here.
Mm-hmm. And I think I don't know if it's exactly your full platform, but speaking out against like ableism online, what does that look like for you and trying to help people who are able-bodied to just be more inclusive and more aware of their actions and their surroundings and the way that they might speak or act in the community?
Yeah, so I do that a few different ways, depending on like, I make reels sometimes that are like funny and like relatable that people can like really attach to and that
Hmm.
do bring up ableism and stuff. And actually, for the month of July for Disability Pride Month, I've been literally DMing my friends like, "Oh, you should, check out this creator and look at this reel and look at this information about advocacy that disabled people are doing, especially my non-disabled friends, so they can be in the know and
Hmm.
be kept up on different disability news and
Yeah.
advocacy and all that stuff. So I with my Miss Wheelchair Ohio title, I've gotten really good at just pushing people about like
Hmm.
different disability
Yeah.
advocacy and
Yeah.
I, my social anxiety is like you're being annoying and I'm like
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody needs to be challenged sometimes. Everybody needs to be
Mhm.
a little bit pushed
Right.
and encouraged to step out of their comfort zone. And
Exactly. And
in
that's what
in
I've
a
been
different
trying to do with my platform and
yeah,
my
that's great.
advocacy.
In autumn, it's in a different way being pushed, but I was looking at your notes and you earned a bachelor's in molecular and cellular developmental biology, right? And you're not stopping with that, right? Tell me a little bit more about some of your accomplishments in the academic world.
Yeah, so I got my bachelor's degree here this past May, and I plan on going to grad school, hopefully in the fall of 2026, for biology. The end goal is to be a professor, but to also do ethical stem cell research for spinal cord injuries like my own.
Mm,
While I'm very proud disabled woman, I do realize that mobility is a very precious thing, and being able to have more mobility and being able to participate more, it means a lot to people. And if I mean people don't have to go through 19 surgeries like I have, I think
hmm.
that's a good thing. So I'm really interested in the research. The Lord has blessed me with a brain that can understand it. So
Yeah.
uh yeah, I'm very interested in it, and that's what I hope to do as far as furthering my academics and my career.
That's awesome. That's incredible. So we're going to now transition to leading up to this month, the national competition. That's happening again. We are talking about Ms. Wheelchair America, presented by the Mary Free Bed Guild. The Mary Free Bed Hospital and the Guild are so excited to be helping to put this on, sponsoring this event to have it here again in Grand Rapids. It's been here in Grand Rapids for several years. We're really excited to bring all the ladies from around the nation to come compete in this. So Alex and Autumn, what are you guys looking forward to most about this next phase as you guys have now coming away from the state and heading now towards nationals. What are you looking forward to most about the competition and meeting and connecting with all the other women?
I'm very excited just to bond with everyone. I know we've had like a text group, and we've been bonding on like Instagram and stuff, and everyone is just so nice. And so I'm like gonna give everyone the biggest hug whenever I see them. I'm so excited to meet everybody. I'm also very excited for speech night. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm excited to have my voice be heard and talk about my platform and all that. So I'm just over the moon. I honestly don't have words sometimes about how excited I
Good.
am. It's going to be the best.
Awesome. What about you, Adam? What are you looking forward to about the national competition happening in a couple weeks?
Yeah, similar to Alex. I mean, I'm looking forward to meeting and being able to get to know the ladies. Like she said, we have a group chat, and we do like every other week, like Zoom meetings too. And it's been really good to get to know people virtually, but obviously, you can only get to know someone virtually so well.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to see everyone in person will be really fun and great. And I'm also looking forward to speech night. I've loved public speaking, and then being able to have the opportunity to share something that means a lot to me to people that are from several different states is something that I'm really looking forward to.
And what about some of the fun activities like outside of so there's the two main nights, the Friday night speech night, the Saturday night crowning ceremony, but there's a bunch of workshop that's happened throughout the week. We have some of the contestants come visit our hospital and check it out and see some patients there. We also go and visit a sculpture park in town. And then we're seeing pictures of the dance night where they've got different themes for it. But yeah, it's just a fun, great experience for the week long. I heard from so many contestants where they come as competitors, but they leave as like sisters. And I feel like it sounds like from some of the group chats and the Zoom calls, it sounds like that's already starting.
Yeah, we're definitely already sisters. I feel I from the beginning I was like we didn't feel like competitors at all. It felt like a sisterhood from like day one. So it's been really, really nice.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's really felt like a sisterhood the entire time. It hasn't felt like, oh, I'm competing against
Mm-hmm.
someone.
Oh, that's awesome. So as we wrap this up, if there's anybody here who is watching this and maybe they're thinking, you know what, I don't know if this kind of competition is for me, what would you say to them to encourage them to give this a try, to maybe get out of their comfort zones and participate maybe in their own state competition?
Adam, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I encourage people to try things once. I mean, you're not going to know if you'd like to be an advocate or to like pursue something like this until you try it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say like go for it, give it your best shot, be your authentic self, and maybe you'll really enjoy it. That's what I did when I first got involved with Miss Amazing and now Miss Wheelchair. So I just say go for it.
Yeah, just like Autumn, I think it's important to just go for it. This competition it's brought me so much learning about advocacy work and public speaking and bonding with all of my contestants. It's just been so rich in learning, and I think that's so important for all disabled people to work on their advocacy and this competition is very important for that.
Awesome. Well, once again, we have been talking to Ms. Wheelchair Ohio, Alexandra Martinez. She's from Cleveland, and we're so excited to have her participate in this. And we've been talking to Ms. Wheelchair Kansas, Autumn Green. She lives in Lawrence in Kansas. And so we're so excited to be chatting with them in promoting the competition, Ms. Wheelchair America, presented by the Mary Free Bed Guild, happening August 18th to 24 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Make sure you stay tuned to Mary Free Bed's Facebook page coming that Friday and that Saturday, as we're going to have the competition live stream, so anybody around the nation can watch and can comment and enjoy that moment there. So thank you so much for watching, and stay well.